Cool. So we are live with Eduardo Morales. I say it right?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Cool. How are you, Eduardo?
Hi, Eddie. Thank you so much for having me. It's always good fun to talk about Instagram because I feel like I have it all in my head. Living by myself, I don't get to talk about it with so many people, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Yes. So it's so awesome that you actually come to our community over here of the Jarvee users. I don't know. We don't have enough. Like not many people are watching us now. It probably take a few minutes that they will join. So we'll just say a few words about you, how I found you. It's a very funny story. My business partner, Tolik, just sent me one of your articles and say, "Hey, Adi, look, this cool guy, Eduardo Morales, you have an article about automation tools, but Java is not over there. Maybe reach out to him, speak with him, let's see what you can do, why Java is not over there." And okay, let's speak with him, let's see what he's doing. And I also read your crazy articles on Medium, and then I found out you have so many knowledge and value that you can share with people about Instagram. So it's so cool to have you. How did you even like find your way on Medium? Okay, well, did I speak too much? So guys, I will stop. For all of you watching us, say thank you for joining. We're here with Eduardo Morales, and he will introduce himself in a second, and he will tell you who is he and how I brought him over here. If you have any questions about Instagram growth, not automation, it's not for that today, or maybe if Eduardo will want, but mostly about Instagram growth without automation. So please comment below, tell us you're here, and ask all of your questions. Um, and let's start. So Eduardo, who are you?
Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. Well, I when it comes to Instagram, I run a few pages. One's called Pin Lord, another one's called Party for All, another one's called Macrame Makers. I used to have many more, but I stopped running those. And I also write a lot about how to grow small businesses or accounts on Instagram. Not only how to grow, but just several other ideas around Instagram. And I think where I'm really focused in is just helping demystify how how the platform of Instagram works. I think so many of us, um, when it comes to social media, get caught up on like it's all about kind of like being cool or being social or taking good photos. But I honestly think that what really matters is just understanding how Instagram works and learning to execute at a really high level. And I think it's important to communicate that because we can get so caught up in thinking that Instagram is about social media and all these other things that ultimately it's Facebook making money from our attention. So I think it's important to demystify everything around how the platform works.
Cool. Okay, that's great. Thank you for telling that. MMM, we have a few people over here, so that's cool, guys. You're with us. Feel free to ask Eduardo any question that you have. Actually, call this live like how to grow your small business account on Instagram in 4 weeks, because I know this is what you're doing and this is your program. What are let's say I have a small business and I don't have huge budget, just a small business owner, and I want to grow. What are your recommendations? Like where to start?
How I think it's a helpful way, and at least it's been for me, is to break down Instagram growth into the most simple concepts possible. So how I like to think about it is growing on Instagram can be broken down into one super simple formula, and it's growth equals how many people you reach times how many people you retain. How many people you reach times how many people you retain equals how fast you grow. So how we grow on Instagram is understanding, okay, how do we reach people and how do we retain people, right? Reaching people is broken down in literally to the screens of Instagram, right? So like how to reach people on the homepage, how to reach people on the Explorer page, how to reach people on the activity feed, and what activities you need to do to surface your username as many times as possible on those screens so you can reach as many people as possible. And once people discover your username, tap on it, they discover your account. What does your account need to look like or be like to retain as many of them as possible to grow? So if you reach a lot of people, you retain a lot of them, your account will grow and your small businesses grow.
Cool. So this is saying like it's the first thing, like it's how to even look about it and how to plan it before you go to the practical steps.
Yeah, I think like that helps kind of like laying the groundwork to be able for your steps to be effective, because you can spend a whole lifetime doing activities, but if the groundwork for it, like if you're not reaching the right people and if you don't have the right account or content, it'll be wasted. So I think we all have, I'm sure we are all very busy, and I think it's important, like every single moment that we spend on Instagram, it should be as productive as we can make it.
You mean, yeah, when I'm watching some people's stories, just scrolling down with no purpose, not a good way, not a good consuming. Cool. Can I even share the screen maybe and show one of your cool accounts, maybe
Sure.
like a short case study? 1 second, I will share the screen and show. You have a few huge accounts actually on Instagram. Yes, I saw you have this one, the body football. Like you have, it's actually yours, the 320K.
Yeah, that's the biggest one that I have right now.
Wow, it's how honestly, like how you get this amazing number of followers and active followers. I can see great engagement over here. So how you did it? Like, of course, not whole story, but
yeah.
maybe.
So, like the whole story goes back to, so I used to hate working on Instagram. Like I just thought Instagram was about kind of like showing your life and telling people where you went on vacation. And I'm like, that's just not me. But I used to work for this small startup called Depop, and there's a lot to dig into there. But basically, the way that we grew the app, and we measured success based on downloads. So how we grew the app was basically partnering with YouTubers or Instagram influencers to promote the app and then grow the community. But I started when my job was to try and figure out which influencers to work with, try to get them on the platform, and try to get them to promote about the startup. But when I started working with them, I started realizing that a lot of these people that had really high big accounts, they weren't necessarily like the most talented at what they did. They weren't necessarily the most knowledgeable at the niche. They just understood deeply what activities led to growth on Instagram, and they're just good at executing that. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And that got me excited about try to enter it, because trying to figure out what that process was like, right? Like what's the formula to grow on Instagram? And at the time I was spending like $100 a month on enamel pins. It's the pins that you put on your jacket. And I'm like, that wasn't sustainable for me living in New York. Like I can't spend that money on pins. And, but so I'm like, okay, if I start an account and I try to do all these things, all these activities that I've noticed these people that are growing are doing, if I grow an account and I get free pins, like that's it. I'm done. This would make me very happy. So I started implementing that in my account. It was one called Pin Lord that grew very fast. And I was able to quit my job because of it. Like I was selling pins and also charging per posts. And yeah, Pin Lord. That was my first one. So it's a similar sort of concept as Pottery for All. But so after a while, I was wondering, like, was it like a fluke that was it pins a good topic, or were the activities that I was doing the reason why it was growing? So I started like literally like 10, 15 accounts of all type of topics that I find kind of interesting. And I just started replicating all of those activities on all of those accounts, and they all started growing. And that's when I started writing about Instagram on Medium, when I was kind of like testing all of these different behaviors and then just writing about what was working, what wasn't working. And I think just trying to put a bit more data behind it and a bit more specific and examples. And one of those accounts was Pottery for All. And yeah, this is the most successful so far. There's a lot of reasons why it is too. If you want to go into them, I'm happy to.
Cool. Wow, it's pretty crazy. Like I do, but I don't know what is like. We have like 13 people over here watching us. So guys, what do you think? What do you have like a guy over here, crazy guy, Eduardo, who actually grow accounts from 0 to more than 300K real followers on Instagram. He can show you, like he can tell you how he did it. He just said now. He can get more details. He also worked. I saw he also worked with Nike and huge brands. Like you have on your protocol like so many success. So I do want to hear more about it. But what are your questions, guy? Maybe it's too fast. I don't know. Maybe what do you think? Like most of the time. Oh, okay, that's a good question. Have a look about this, Eduardo.
Okay.
What's your hashtag strategy?
Oh, that's a good question. And I get that question a lot. And I see it a lot on the internet. My hashtag strategy, well, I'll tell you technically what the hashtag strategy is. Like my hashtag strategy is to use 5 to 7 of the most accurate hashtags, more accurate, like the 5 to 7 of the hashtags that are both accurate to my content and my target audience follows. And then I put them on the first comment of my post. But that being said, actually, it doesn't matter that much anymore. Like hashtags don't make that big of a difference. They're not the reason why an account grows or doesn't grow anymore. Instagram is really, really making changes within the app to make hashtags less and less relevant, because that's a channel that they can control less and less, and they want to control all of the channels more and more. So honestly, that they won't, like, you can, I use that strategy, and I'm sure it's not perfect, but I don't want to think about hashtags, because I think, in my opinion, you can spend your energy and your mental energy on much more valuable things on Instagram than thinking about hashtags. I think I see a lot of people get caught up on hashtags, like, am I using the right ones? Am I changing them? And it's a little thing that you can really tweak with that doesn't have an impact. So I recommend, like, just do them in as good as a way as you can, and just know that it really doesn't matter that much. And unless you're a small account, and then it does matter, because going from 0 to like a couple hundred views does make a difference. But once you've reached, I don't know, 1,000 followers, then views will come from somewhere else.
I see. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So only for like small accounts, I mean, if it's not like if 0, 100, maybe let's say less than 1,000 followers, it's relevant. If you have more, don't invest so much energy, go with other things. So someone you're asking, I don't know if it's the same user, but you're asking, is it about finding viral content then?
Yeah. So I've noticed that now and I can just talk from how my accounts grow, is the way my accounts grow is whenever I get high engagement content, because high engagement content is what Instagram wants to surface as much as possible, right? And I think it's super important to think about, like, the first layer that we need to think about is, like, Instagram makes money from keeping us on the screen as much as possible. So if we can create content that keeps people on the screen as much as possible, that's what they want to show, right? So it's really, really important that we develop the ability to either identify what good viral content is or create it. Creating it is way harder, but yeah, it's definitely all about viral content now.
Cool. Okay. And if hashtags are not that useful anymore, what will be the top couple strategies that you suggest? Or someone asked actually the same question, what are the other things then to grow?
So what I've noticed, and what I think is just going to be the future, is, like, Instagram is taking away shortcuts, right? Like, Instagram is limiting interactions. Instagram is limiting the use of hashtags. And what I think is going to be the most important thing in the future is just first of all, understanding what the basic activities are and just getting really good at them, and just know that there won't be kind of like a magical solution to grow fast anymore. I think, to me, the most important ones, the most effective ones right now, are learning how to create engaging content, right? Like, always optimize and every week measure, like, okay, what am I posting? What's the engagement that's getting from it, right? Like, the posts that you post that have high engagement, try to understand why they're getting high engagement. Was it the photo? Was it the caption? Was it the topic, right? And then just go deeper and deeper in that hole to try and create the most engaging content possible. And then second, you can do it with automation, but that's getting harder and harder. But again, just every day doing interactions with people that you think are likely to follow you. That is just kind of like the day-to-day work that will kind of guarantee that your username is surfaced, because things like engagement or hashtags or everything, like, they all depend on the Instagram algorithm. And to a degree, you can't control that. but you can't control how many. Like if you like 100 people's posts a day, at least you got 100 opportunities for people to discover your username. Yeah, engaging content and interacting every day. Those are the safe, basic ones that are most likely to lead to sustainable growth.
Cool. Okay. That's really cool. I wanted to show the people who watch us now that you're doing very, very like special things. For example, I shared the video you have over here when you're dancing. It was hilarious. Like it was so good. Like I really read everything you wrote over here, and I was like, "Why?" And you did it so good. So you do think outside the box. You do things that like I don't see a lot of people dancing like you did. It's awesome, really. And more content you're doing over here, and also on your huge account, like over here, like for example, on the accounts with the 320K followers. What is your strategy over here with the content? Like you actually, like how do you know what to post? For example, how you decide? Okay, I will go with this photo and not with this one, or not. Well, how you choose?
So basically, what I do again, like for me to grow, it only grows whenever I post viral content, and it's getting harder and harder to find it because the longer I've been, let's say, the longer my account has been active, the more of kind of like the more people I've already posted. So it's harder and harder to find new people that create new content. But the key to growth is just literally finding viral content. And I do that, the most simple way that I do that is going on the Explore page, because that is kind of like piggybacking on Instagram's work. So Instagram is only going to show you viral content, right? And that's where I use the Explore page, right? I'll be like, okay, Instagram is already showing me the most viral content. Likely not that many people have seen it. I'm going to grab it from there and show it on my page. And then Instagram is going to grab that and putting on other people's Explore page. And then I do the same through hashtags. So I look at the most valuable hashtags when my niche, and then just look at the top page and see which ones there I think are going to be most viral on my page. It's kind of like half art, half science, just trying to develop the eye to figure out. And it's most of the time a guessing game in a way.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And they also ask over here, so for example, if you're a restaurant posting your own pictures, if you don't have an awesome concept, you're trapped in not growing and don't have much exposure, what do you think?
I think for businesses, it's going to be hard to grow, period. Because I think people on Instagram don't care that much about businesses. Like people want to see interesting people, like weird stuff, right? And that businesses, all they do is try to sell you stuff. And people, I think there's just a business content in general just doesn't do well on Instagram because it feels inorganic, right? What I would recommend is just kind of like change your expectations and keep that in mind, and know like it's very unlikely that you're going to find very organic viral content if you're a restaurant business. But what you can do is I would recommend figure out a way where you can incentivize people to create content for you, because then you're killing two birds with one stone, right? So let's say people are going to your restaurant. What can you do in your restaurant to incentivize people to take a good photo, right? Because that's super important, really good photos, and post them and tag you. Because if you do that, like your energies are better spent trying to figure that out than trying to figure out how to create your own content. Because it's going to be harder for you to figure out how to get people to post content for you. But if you crack that code, then you'll be killing two birds with one stone, right? You won't have to create content anymore, and you're getting extra traffic from people tagging you. So it's kind of like you get double the results from the work that you're putting into it. So I'd say, just put up content that's fine, but just know that it's not going to result in anything, and then shift your attention to figuring out how to get people that come to your restaurant to create good content for you, so you can use that content, repost it, and get traffic. I think you're on mute.
Sir, I was on mute. So I thought it's just amazing tips. I totally agree with what you just mentioned now. And I think that, when what you just said, so how to get people to do these kind of things for you, of course, they must get something in order to do these kind of things. So for example, free to build a strategy, like to give them something for free and then to get this data. It's will be like, I know many brands actually are doing that. And also another tip I want to give to people is, as we are now almost in 2021, don't we sometimes we try like to invent the world or invent something new, and like, no, I will do it differently, I know how it will work. And I just want to say that, there are so many case study of restaurants, um, famous restaurants, other businesses that already did what you're trying to do. So why work so hard to try to invent something from scratch? Go to Google like case study about Instagram growth for restaurant, or go to like huge restaurant in your area. If it's anchored, so in Paris or in other areas, find what worked for them, model their success, and then like everything would be just much easier, right? Like, what do you think?
Completely agree. And it's like there's certain like you were talking about restaurants. I haven't gone deep into the restaurant topic, but many restaurants do something as like they also even cater how, like they also think about how certain meals are going to be photographed, right? Like they do certain plates that are more likely that people will want to photograph because they're serving a certain type of plate, because they're colorful, because what like people want interesting things to take photos of. So restaurants know how important it is for their growth that people tag them, right? So they create dishes that are catered for people to photograph them. They change the lighting of the restaurant to facilitate that as well, like all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, like of course not everyone will be able to do that, but just knowing that that's how people do it will help you do it in your way.
Cool. What else? What else are your questions? Like, I don't know how many years you're doing that. It's like with your Instagram code for how long?
I think for like 5, 6 years now. So it's been a while.
That's crazy.
It is
Like it
crazy.
generates. Yeah, like look at. I don't know. Wait, I don't know if some people join us now. Maybe so. I don't know if you saw, but Eduardo actually has amazing content, amazing page also on like. Have a look. Wait, no, this one I want to show them the Medium. Like honestly, how how you became a writer with so many articles in Medium, how you did it with amazing content.
So I think honestly, the reason why I think they did okay was because when I tried to look for stuff online, all the articles that I could find was like people giving you vague advice, and everybody was saying the same thing, and it felt like just people were copying articles from articles. And the type of information that I get really excited about is kind of like people showing you a screenshot of where to click and like what exactly, like what numbers they had, right? Because it feels like that's real and it's based on examples, not like people's opinions. So that's the articles that I wanted to write. And I think because there's so much of the other type of content on the internet, when people come across my articles, I think that it feels different than most other content. But also having my Instagrams really helped, right? Because so I use my Instagram accounts to promote my Medium articles, and Medium works in the same way that Instagram does. All they want to do is surface the most engaging content so people read Medium more. And the way that they try to figure that out is what articles are getting the most views quickly as soon as it's published, similar to engagement on Instagram. So I would create an article, post it on my Instagram, and then it would get a lot of traffic. And then the Medium algorithm would grab my article and surface it to the whole community. So it's kind of like understanding the same sort of like most platforms work the same way. And if you know how one platform works, it's easier to kind of like understand how the algorithms of other platforms work.
I agree. Interesting. Okay, I agree with the last sentence, and very, very interesting. And to became like, it's really, it's not something that, not everyone doing that. I know many great people on Instagram and Instagram growth experts or people who know, but you actually did it. So it's cool. I think second, I wish clients had a business view when we talk about IG. This is not about just posting good pictures because everyone has it. We need to put approximately with the audience and use IG to be close to the clients or followers. How do you like? You also have a client, or you don't accept clients?
I actually don't have clients. I try to focus, like, it's not something that I've tried it and it's been hard for me. So I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. So what I try to do is I try to instead focus my energy on creating articles that might make money, or creating my class that might make money. And like, maybe I won't earn an income for 3 months, but once the class is out there, then it's kind of like a bit of a passive income thing that kind of will take over the place of a client, and I don't have to keep kind of like going back to it in a way. But it's also hard. There's a lot of competition out there, so it is never ending trying to create new things, and it's also, you never know, because you depend so much on these platforms, right? So one day they might cut the cord and things will end. But so far, that hasn't happened, so I'm grateful for that.
Yes, 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 yes. Cool. Okay, another question when trying to grow, is the amount of posts important?
Definitely. So I think like a way that I like to think about posts is like, imagine that you're stranded on a desert island, right? Like your Instagram, no one's going to know that your Instagram exists if it just exists in a vacuum without content or anything. And what posts are like a flare gun that goes through the Instagram algorithm that gives people an opportunity to know that you exist. So usually the more you post, the more opportunities you create for people to discover that content within the Instagram algorithm. But also the audience that you already have is going to reach a point where if you post too much, they're going to get annoyed and unfollow you. So you got to find where that optimal place is, where like you reach the maximum number of people without annoying your audience to unfollow you. So that's what you want to find. You want to find like your optimal number of posts, and every account is going to be different because every person's content creation skills are different. Every audience is different, but there's definitely like an optimal number of posts that you can do. And I think it's important to try and figure that out because it does help you grow. Content is the way that you grow.
Yes, I totally agree. I think like sometimes especially when this is Jarvee community and most of us doing automation, or not most of us, but maybe 50% of the people over here, the other 50 already dropped. So we sometimes forget about the content and how good is, like how much is it's important to get high follow back ratio, because sometimes you have clients who don't have time to post, or they don't really invest on their post, or just it doesn't look so good, and you're trying your best with Jarvee and you bring amount of like 100, 200 people to the profile every day, but they look on the profile and they say not good. So what I realized that some of the clients who wants to work with us, we do like kind of a review to the profile, and if it's not good enough, and if you see like it's not wow, or even doesn't close to that, then okay, we must make the wow effect. Do you know how many accounts on your business that are on Instagram? Like today, to be so, it must be special. Like the content you're producing, it's actually special. It's catch the eye. Like, hey, who is this guy dancing like this? This is funny. I want to see that. How we do that? And then I read, and all of these kind of small things, and eventually it all comes to the content. So I don't like it so much. I don't like this fact, but I know this is the facts. So
Totally. No, I think that's so, like, I notice that happens a lot. People ask me like, what do I need to do to grow? I'm like, well, you need to have a good product, and you have to good content. Like, there's no hack around that. Like, without having a great content and great product, you can bring 1 million people to your account, but nobody's going to like it and nobody's going to stick. So that's the first one that
yeah,
people need to do.
totally, totally, totally. What activities do you think are still worth automating vs what of those who should now do manually?
Well, I mean, I'm a proponent that if you can automate everything, automate everything. But I think it's like the problem is Instagram doesn't let you, right? Like I think automating interactions can be great but it's getting harder and harder to do it. The only thing I do now, the only thing I automate now is just the process of posting. So I just have that automated. I just put my post in a queue, and it automates my caption and automates my post at a certain time. And that helps me because I don't have to think about kind of like every day, putting up your phone, doing that, putting the photo right in the caption, all that stuff. So I really recommend automating posts because that tends to be super helpful. If you can automate interactions, great. If not, then post seems to be working so far, but it's more likely than not that will change at some point in the future.
Yes. And if I can also ask, like, which tool are you using to automate the posts?
So I use this one called Mass Planner, which I think is similar to Jarvee. I've seen the screenshots and they look very similar.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mass Planner. Oh my god, I love it so much. But I also have one called Only Pulled, which helps me automate posts from one of my accounts that I have to change the captions for. And that one's great because I like it because it's really easy to use, and I only use it to automate posts. I don't need it to be fancy or anything else. It just kind of does what I need it to do really simply and easily. So yeah, Mass Planner and Only Pulled.
Cool. Okay, that's cool. I think, yes, I feel like some people think you can be put under automation and boom, you get followers and just forget about having an attractive content. Yes, we wish it was so easy, if it was so easy, so we all have so much success and like, why to do live or why to invest so much in Instagram?
Yeah.
We wish. How about IG ads? How many followers, target, not Indians, you tend to have per $1 spent? You do it?
I used to do it. I used to do what do you call it? Story ads, and I was spending like $5. I forget how much it was. But again, most of the followers that I were getting were just not very valuable followers. And my engagement was going down. And if my engagement was going down, it was much less likely for me to get viral content. So I'm like, short term, it was good to see numbers rise, but long term, I think it really affected my account to try and just drive followers to my page. So I honestly don't even remember what I was spending, and I don't think it didn't work for me sustainably, mostly because your engagement will go down because it's just not going to be very high quality followers. But I mean, if you can do it, it's great.
Yeah, I must agree that I think that you can get a target followers on the United States or in your country or in no matter which country you are from. But the disadvantages is I also tested it. It's two things. One, it's mostly very expensive to get followers in this way.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's actually like it's kind of like a cold. It's like accounts that users that they don't know you and like you go for them on paid ads, like they see an ad on Instagram and people today they see it on Instagram, also on Facebook, but also mostly on Instagram, they're so blind, no matter like which kind of, like very blind to these kind of things. They know we're trying to sell them or trying to get them into some point. When you do follow and follow, for example, no matter if it's by done automatically, everyone do it, so it's a different approach. Now I really recommend to do paid ads. Just I don't think for getting followers or engagement. I think it's very good to build your funnel, to sell products, just to get traffic to the website. Yes, but to get followers, not too sure about it, for my opinion. John, we just talk about the software. So Jarvee basically, kind of Jarvee.
Yeah.
Yes, and only plot, is it right?
Only PULT, onlypult.com. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. This is my main problem here to Android message. People are just too lazy to build relationship on a Naito. What is that? Like it's on
I'm assuming
name of...
it's a certain account. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yes. It's all about people. Eventually, this is the game. Eventually, do the IG consulting for customers. Okay, Barbara, but they just don't do anything. I also find out about it. I think like I'm doing automation for more than 2.5 years, something like that, 2 years, not so long. And I found out that customers or no matter people, also us, we are all lazy. Like let's make it clear. We all want not to work so hard, not to work 20 hours per day, not to be all the time on Instagram and try to think what I'm going to post. which hashtags, this is good call to action, maybe not, and all of that. So eventually, what I'm doing with my clients, I don't like to deal with the content so much. I'm not good with that, honestly. And it's also so much time and energy. So what I'm doing, I refer them to people that like to do the content. This is their style, and they help them. Because when you tell the clients to do like that, you don't have time for that. They have so many things to do in this business, to manage the business, to get clients, workers, team, So the best is to do it for them. Maybe to find a good deal for them, or right? What do you think? Like if you have clients, and they don't do what you're saying, or if you have people, what do you think?
It's very hard. That was very hard. I think like in an ideal world, you would only work with clients that you have that you think are going to be successful, because that'll just bring more successful clients. But easier said than done. Yeah, I think it's important to at first just set the right expectations and be super clear about what they need to do, what's doable, and that will help at least kind of like manage their expectations throughout the relationship. But I think that's a problem everybody struggles with. So, yeah.
That's right. That's right. A question for Eduardo Morales. Is it true that the time that an IG user spends building a post is important to rank this post on hashtags?
I think that it comes into play, but it's literally like everything. Instagram, they measure things that we don't even know about. So, for example, it'd be like time that photo is on their screen, time that they're tapping into the caption and reading it, even like their behavior when it comes to like what they push first and the order and how they push things, if they share it, if they don't share it, like all of those things come into play. And the more of all of them there are, the more likely it is to show up as a top hashtag or in the explore page or anywhere on the home feed.
Yes, so many things that we don't even know, and we never know.
We won't never know. Yeah.
We have many things in common. Happy to hear that. I think it was for you. Cool. What do you think about starting a year mate with Toasty company on IG? I saw you had a what do you think about that?
I do have like a cow page, yeah. Well, I think if you would be one of the first ones to do it, it's likely to be successful. If there's already a lot of people doing it, then try something else, because it's going to be really hard. Like, to me, another thing that I tell people is like the things you really need to look for is either you're in a small niche, because then you're likely to be one of the best people. Like you're much more likely to be successful at creating the best content. Or if you're in a large niche, you have no choice but to be very like the best at executing that niche. So either you're in a very small niche or you're in a big niche and you're the best to do that. It's very, 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 very hard to be the best content creator in a large niche. You're literally competing with the world. So I think like for most people, like just try to do the smallest niche you can in a way that you can be actually one of the top creators in that niche. And even though it might be small at first, like even if it's small, you're going to be much more likely to be successful in that small niche than in a big pool of people that are doing it better than you are.
I like how you make this thing so simple. Like you make it like a huge question, how to grow Instagram, and you make it very simple. Like you need to do it. It's very strong. I'd say it's good, but it's very like powerful way to make things and to take it and make it simple. I think you also saw it on your articles. You make like huge subjects. Which username to choose on Instagram? Like from where to start? I don't know. And you make it so simple. It's amazing. Really, really, really.
Thank you. I appreciate it, but it's mostly because I need to understand things in my head in a simple way, because if not, I can't do it.
Yeah, and the fact that you know how to make this knowledge to other people, to make them understand it, like so simple, and because it's one thing to understand thing, oh okay, like I know what I need to do, this, and then to make other people to do it. It's really really cool.
Thank you.
I like it. Okay, yeah, we have a few more questions. Let's have a look. Yeah. Yes, Marcel, I feel like most people heard you can get famous easily due to watching YouTube videos, those gurus. So they expect you to grow so easily, but they don't know what it really requires to get a lot of followers every month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I'm always paying a lot of attention on all of your posts on VIP. Oh, they stick with themselves. Sorry, guys. I don't see your names. Questions. Where do you find your content? Do you have any secret platform?
I wish I had a secret platform, but honestly, like the secret, the most like the best way is just to pay attention to what Instagram is showing you, because they'll want to show more of that. So look at the Explorer page, pay attention to what shows up on the home feed first. Look at the top posts on hashtags, and then once you look at that, try to understand what your audience is most finds most value within all of those. You kind of like curating from those already curated places. That's how I do it. But it does require just takes time to kind of like it's a mix between like every week I measure my engagement. So every week I see which post did the best, and I try to really kind of like digest, be like, oh, like how the taste of my audience are changing, which posts tend to do better. And then when I look for content, I try to look for that type of content. So you have to kind of like constantly be looking at what content is doing well and trying to find that content done even better so you can keep growing.
Cool. Okay, I just want to add that there are some platforms to make it even a bit easier, this process. I don't know if you know Christian. He's the owner of Instagram Marketing Secret group, Christian Book. This is his full name.
Cool.
Um, yes, and I just want to let you know, and maybe to other people that maybe it can be relevant for them. I'm using Jarvee actually for this kind of things, but we don't speak today about automation and Jarvee too much. So I just want to show you about this tool. It's
I
called
want to see
Viral
it.
Spy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And basically what I don't use it at the moment, but basically you can actually look for like specific hashtags or specific keywords. I don't know if it will let me to do that. And then like you can actually get like the most top hashtag, top posts or top hashtags based on like what you search.
Cool.
Yeah, if you're using Jarvee for this, so you can do it on the vPost tool, and it's actually pretty much very similar. Just it's a tool on your browser. How much it even cost? $14 per month, or $9 per month. Okay, so if you want, you can check it. And I think they have also some trail, so that's cool.
Cool.
And also manually, it also will work even also manually. Do either of you automate publishing tools allow you to also add the link in bio or link tree at the time of scheduling?
Mm. Not the ones that I use, but that sounds like something valuable.
I think you can do that. But I try to think about like the Java tools. They're like running on my head now. But let me get back to you about it because I do think you can to change the link on bio. Yes, or link tree. I think you can, but I will get back to you after I check it more.
Man, you're an expert to know that level of deep knowledge about the tool.
It's what I'm doing all the day long, the Jarvis things, but these things I haven't actually thought about it. So it's very smart, So I like this kind of questions. They make you think outside the box. Cool, Eduardo. What is the fastest way to get to explore to people of the same niche?
The fastest way is just to create the most engaging content for your audience. Like there's no hack around it around just knowing what content your audience really likes to engage with. It's very hard.
Okay, cool. Okay, it's actually the truth, Sometimes you don't like to hear the truth, but this is the truth. Like no shortcuts. Even with automation, if you're doing mass views, if you do mass voting, if you do mother and child, if you do the mass DMs, no matter which method you're doing, if you don't invest, like as Eduardo said, on the strategy on what you're going to post, it doesn't really worth it. I agree. This is how you can find content inspiration. IG Hero. Cool.
Cool.
Thank you for the link. How can I retain clients? You want to answer? Oh.
No, I think you're better suited to answer this one than I am because I don't have any.
That's so cool. You don't have any. Like, actually, this is like, I need to make this live, like how to make a living from Instagram without clients. Like,
Yeah,
this is,
exactly.
yeah, I forgot like this and it's cool. Like, just to make it clear for me with my bad English, sorry, but retain, it's like makes them a like retainer, like to stay
To
with
keep
you,
them.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great question. A few ways. One thing is to get better results for month to month and not just be like this. Many people, many automation or content creation, just all the time, like, okay, I have this amount of clients, I will get more clients with my current clients, and I will be like that. So what we're trying to do is all the time to develop more ways to get better and better. There's no end, no way there. Like if you do Jarvee, you get a follow back ratio of like, let's say 0.2, 0.1, you can get 0.4, you can get 0.5. So like that. Second way, try to give them more value. How you can give them more value? Give them more results. If you cannot do it with Jarvee, maybe with other tools, maybe to do paid ads for them. Maybe, for example, now we're doing some collaboration with a company working with Snoop Dogg for the giveaway. By the way, what do you think about giveaway, Eduardo?
About giveaways?
On Instagram, what do you
I
think?
think
Is
they're
it good?
great. I think people, yeah, I
Yeah.
think like it's a good way to hack like high engagement in a way. But I think like it's a good one off, but like in long term, it's not very sustainable. But I mean, if you do it every month, it's a good, like that's a good solid way to create viral content in a relatively predictable way.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah,
We do now something with Snoop Dogg, with the company working with him, not directly. Let's see how
cool.
it will work.
Yeah,
Yeah. What is the best way to get a great reach nowadays?
viral content. Like it's just
That's a
like
big
there's
surprise.
yeah. Why? Oh yeah. Like but that's the thing, like more and more I'm like there's less and less answers to all of these questions, and it's gonna get more, it's gonna get worse. We're never going back to having more ways to hack Instagram. We're only going to go towards having less ways to hack Instagram, and that's why it's going to be so important to get the basics really good, because it just won't be any other way.
Yes, I agree. With ighero.com, you can store the result by comments, likes, and cool. Okay, check this platform,
Cool.
guys.
Cool.
To go to the explore page, you need to develop things like get good content for your own followers. If you like, IG will put the post in hashtags. If people in the hashtag like the post, you will be put on the explore page.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Can you share that giveaway company with Snoop Dogg? I actually need to make a post about it, but I don't. Today we speak with Eduardo, and this is the Eduardo live today.
You can
But
say
I
it. I
would.
don't care. Good on them.
You're funny. Yes, no. I will share it on the group. Yes, I will. I will make a post about it.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're going to do, just like cool giveaway with Snoop Dogg when you're going to do like giveaway loop. If you're not, you're going to follow like let's say 70, 80 people, and you can get this giveaway with about $3,000, and you will get between 10K to 30K US followers. Now, the trick with this giveaway, it's how to you get this amount of target followers, or not target, let's say US followers, but real one. How they can become your clients and to make it positive ROI. So this is the game. I'm going to post about it. So wait for the post. Do you do shout outs, Eduardo?
I do, yeah. I charge for them though. That's how I make my money as well.
Cool. Okay.
But
Cool,
but,
guys.
but also like what you were talking about. Yeah, I have a friend who also I think does similar sort of giveaway work, and it's a good. I think that if you have the budget, it's likely the most effective way to get a lot of followers real quick. And yeah, but it's all about retaining them.
Exactly. Yes. I feel like many people, I was a bit on the start, say like, what is this, thing? Like, come on, to get so many followers, but where is, if they're not targeted, so who cares about them? But then, and then I saw some case study and I realized, okay, like there's many ways to make it actually like positive ROI for you, but you must really invest with it. Some people just like pay for paid ads or pay for the giveaway loops, but they don't see anything in return. So this way you must think about like, okay, what's going to be with these followers? So when you get followers from automation, from giveaway, from no matter where, what are you going to do with them? Like how they will like you? So that's an important point. Guys, any more questions to Eduardo Morales? Yeah, you have it over here, and it was very. By the way, I don't know. We talked about 70 days ago, right? Like 2 months ago, something. When we
Yeah,
speak for the first time,
yeah, like a
it
couple months
wasn't
ago.
easy.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you're a busy guy, Eduardo.
No,
Very
no.
busy.
The reason why it was because I was working on my class, and I thought it was going to take me like 3 months when the whole pandemic started. I'm like, okay, like I'm going to be at home. I'll do this 3 months. It took me like 7 months. It was way longer than I expected it to. But that's the reason why it took so long, because I'm like, I'd rather talk to you once it's done than while I'm still in it, because even it helps me just think through all the concepts and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. I know, like these things. It's like you think it will take you like X amount of time, but it's never like that. You need
never.
only need to take like 20, 30, 50% more.
Yeah,
Um, Eduardo, what do you think about branded hashtags?
that's an interesting. That's a good question. Well, uh, it. I think it's very hard to make them work organically. I think you need to be a big brand to make that work organically. And I think if you're not going to make it work organically, like being a big brand, I would say don't even try, because I see a lot of brands spending time trying to make their hashtag work, and I'm like, why will people use your hashtag? Like, what's the reason? Like if you have to give people a reason. Like, what's the reason for me to use that? Like, promote a brand without getting anything in return. So there really needs to be a good reason for people to want to use your hashtag, or you'll just be wasting your time.
I must show like some small case study now from something you did, and it's actually relevant for that. So you did very smart, like with brand hashtag. Have a look. I just right now. So for example, with your account in Pottery for All, so you do have your hashtags. But what you did, you choose a username that it's
Yes.
not like your like it's not a brand. It's not like Coca-Cola or something. So you actually
Yes.
use it over here, and this is very smart. Like very smart. So you actually promote yourself through these hashtags, but it's also your account name.
Yeah. I mean, like, I
Username.
also think, like, to me, like, I think my account is my brand, but from the beginning, I didn't want to make it feel like a brand, right? Like, I think a lot of people think that a brand has to look like you have to sell things and have a branded cool website. And like, that's just not true anymore. Like, if your account is successful, that's your brand. You can, like, the hardest thing to do is not create a brand, is to create an audience. So I would say, like, create an audience first. And if you crack that code, building a brand of it is going to be 10 times easier. And thinking about what goes on Instagram is like, for a brand to want to create an audience is going to be a million times more difficult than if a person or an idea or some sort of community thing creates a brand. So you can create a community out of content that isn't branded, that you're not selling anything. And once you create that community, creating a brand out of that is going to be a breeze. But yeah, like, there's a lot of startups now that, like, you can come up with the biggest brand, all of these products, all this stuff, but if you can't build an audience, it's not, you can't sell it. So I think it's really important to knowing how to create an audience first is the key, not creating a brand.
I agree. Awesome. You have some awesome tips over here. And I hope, guys, you like maybe you watch the record or you will write, but you said very, very important things, really. Have you made viral content on Release or TikTok? Have you done automation for this kind of content?
Actually, have tried Reels. I think they're a great way to grow. I've seen a lot of people grow doing effective Reels. I haven't tried TikTok, just because I think I'm going to stick to Instagram, because I think TikTok is a lot more about being able to entertain an audience based on who, like, your personality, and you're kind of like, you have to kind of be there in a way. And I'm just not good at that. So I'm going to stick to Instagram because I'm not going to win at TikTok. But I think Reels can be a really good way, as long as they're good Reels. Instagram is always, like, whenever they come up with a new type of content, like stories or IGTV, Instagram is really positively reinforces that behavior by surfacing it a lot more, because there's just less people doing it. So a lot more people see it. You get a lot bigger results at first. And then when more people do it, then results go down. So I think, like, when when a new type of content starts is a great way to test it and try to grow fast through it. You're likely to see results, but again, it really depends on your own nature to want to try things, right? Like there's certain, like I'm not comfortable doing reels, so I'm gonna try and do them in a way that I feel okay with it. But if it doesn't work for me, I'm gonna try and stick to what I'm good at and not try to kind of like dilute my energy trying everything, and I'm likely just not be good at it, right? Like the people who are best at it, let them do it, and I'm gonna be trying to get the best at what I do. But yeah, it can be good.
Cool. Yeah, it's also like this point, like make your strongest, make them become more strong with them. What you're not so good with it, you can test it, yeah, but like it. Cool. Anyone know good username scraping tools other than Jarvee so that you can use less API calls? Nero, I think Nero write you Litron. Go for it.
Why would you want to scrape usernames?
That's a good point. You can scrape usernames if you wanted to, if I want to follow specific usernames on Instagram.
Got it.
So, yes.
You just get a list of the usernames.
Exactly. And then I can say I want to get all of your followers, for example, for pinrolls. For example, I want to follow them, but I want to get it automatic to Jarvee. So you can do it like that.
Yeah.
I don't do it yet. Don't worry. I didn't do automation on your accounts. Not yet.
No, it's okay. I know everybody's doing everything on Instagram. Like everybody can do. There's no changing that. So just get used to it.
That's true. That's true. Guys, before we finish, and we made also something special for you with Eduardo awesome class. Before that, any last question that you want to ask him? Something that it's not clear enough, maybe about Instagram? Let's see if you have any more questions. And then I really want to talk about your classes. You actually walked about it 7 months. This is crazy. Wow.
At least if you take the class, you'll know that I work really hard on it. Even like I hope it shows, but yeah, it was a lot of work.
I'm sure. You know, like sometimes people think like it's so easy to make so many like classes or courses or data or like write some things about Instagram, but I sure also like to write your articles on Medium, like let's say one article on average. How much time? Like how many hours or days it took you?
It usually takes me like a week to write one article. I mean, on it, like I don't work all of it on every day, all day, but usually like a week and a half. No, like a couple of days or a week. But yeah, I guess I try to do them kind of like very good, not just kind of like fluffy articles. But yeah, like even doing the class, like it was hard because I'm not good in front of like I'm not naturally inclined to be in front of the camera, but I think it helped me get used to it, and now I'm okay at it. And I think it's like if any of you out there feel the same, like I think it's just worth it to kind of like put yourself into something like that, just so you get okay with it and feel comfortable with it. Because I think learning how to navigate taking videos, like all of that stuff is like skills that I think are going to be worth it, going to be valuable, more and more valuable as we do more and more of our work online. So yeah, it's worth to try to grow in those skills.
I agree. And just before we speak about it, so your last tips, and if you can summarize it, let's say I want to grow my Instagram account in 4 weeks. I have a small business. No, I don't have so much money. No paid. No, I don't know. Like, just like a few last tips for that.
Yeah, like it's same. Like I think I did my class based on the idea that you don't have to spend money on growing. So how to do it organically. The key is first figuring out what you do and what you need to do to make yourself be differentiated. Number one, if you're not differentiated, or if you're not in a small niche, nothing you're going to do to grow your account is going to really work long term. So focus on your account, focus on differentiating yourself. And then number two, just do the daily work, right? Like interacting every day, trying to get really, like try to continually increase your engagement, try to post at the right rate, and just know that it's like a marathon. But if you execute the little things over and over and over again, you'll get better at it. And over time, you'll see results. So my class is all about just showing you the basics, how to do them well, and how to do them with the least amount of time and energy as possible, so you can live your life, because you could spend all day on Instagram if you wanted to.
Yes. Oh, on Jarvee. Oh, on Jarvee. Cool. It's working already. Contact. Oh, okay. Sorry. I just want to share the screen with you guys watching us. So if you watch the record, so this is a Eduardo class, 10 steps to grow your small business on Instagram in 4 weeks. I like it actually. I like how you make it very simple. As I said also before, I think that to make people like it's amazing really, because sometimes it can go so lost, and so many business who comes to us for automations, they are not even ready for that, and it's not the right things to do. They still don't understand how the platform is actually working. So it's cool. So basically this is all of the subjects that you cover on the class.
Yeah, about the Instagram, if the class starts teaching you, like talking about the Instagram growth formula that I talked about, like growth equals reach times retention, and then how to reach people, how to retain people. And if you know that, you'll grow.
And you earn money from that, right? Like I saw, like you work with Nike, with Depop, you're doing shout outs, you actually make a living from all of this knowledge without clients.
Yeah.
This is a big advantage. Like,
Yeah. And I think I work with those companies. And Depop is where I learned everything, where I was doing the influencer marketing stuff. And with Nike, again, it was just trying to build an online community. But I think the learning how to do these things really well, there's not that many people doing it. So I think it's worthwhile. Even if you know how to do these things well, try to put yourself out there, write about it, like express your ideas. And I think that can really make a difference, because it seems like there's not many people that have a lot of experience with this. So if you put yourself out there, I think people will find you. And yeah.
Cool, Eduardo. A lot of awesome content, and wow, look, it looks great.
A lot.
Yeah, and that's a lot of subjects you cover. And like, I think many people like talking about very technically things on Instagram, but it's actually not very important, the technical stuff. We speak about the right steps with the strategy part, and how to really make money from that, make it grow, like not just how to upload posts, or how to use the best hashtag. Sorry. So this is really cool. I like it.
Yeah. We also have like weekly Q&As. So for all the people that are in the class, I have a weekly live Q&A where I answer people's questions. So that's another thing that comes with the class.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. And you give them like workbook and dashboard. Wow. You actually make it very organized and like straight to the point.
7 months.
What do you say?
7 months of work.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And the price, actually, it's very logic price, like 281 or 381. It's like, I know Instagram course it's selling in 1K, 2K, like 1,000, 2,000. I know a lot of people who purchase this kind of course, and then they're like, and
maybe maybe I should charge more now that you say that. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah. How much do you think I should charge?
I think that for all of this knowledge, I looked about it, and it's like, I don't know who really covered that, like I don't think I saw even one person really cover this subject and make it in your level. I think it's worth at least $4.99 at least. $4.99. Yes, this is what I think.
You're getting me excited about it.
What is it?
You're getting me excited about this now. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna raise my prices.
Yeah, because I also I read a lot from your articles, and you really know what you're doing. This is the major difference between you and too many, other people. And to find people like you who just do it and live it, it's pretty excited. So I like all of the value over here. I'm sure it's worth much more than that. So for all of the guys who think that, so enjoy from that. And also Eduardo approved to give you some special code coupon if you want to go for that and enjoy from all of this data. I think the code, it's, I forgot, but wait, I will find it. One second.
I forgot to, but maybe just leave it in the comment section so people can see it.
Right, I bought it somewhere and like with all of the Jarvee stuff and all of that. Okay, the code it's a Jarvee fam.
That's it.
It's
The Jarvee
50%
fam.
off. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jarvee fam 50% off. So go for it, guys. It's really it's exciting me, like to make this kind of all of this data, and also I really recommend to people watching us to check your Medium content. It's really awesome. Like it's really, really, really good
Thank
writing,
you.
and
Thank you.
yeah. And by the way,
Thank
I
you,
must
Abby.
ask you something,
Yeah,
Eduardo.
please. I have all the questions. I don't have anything to do until 3, so I have 20 minutes if you want to go.
Okay, so okay, that's great. So, guys, if you have any questions, also comment below to Eduardo. He will answer for sure before we leave. And I have a question for you about one of your great articles. So,
Yeah.
I actually read it and I really like it. It was wait over here. So, I have an article about the state of Instagram bots in 2020, and
Yeah.
I read it all. And there are great software over there. Some good, some not good, some less good. Okay, and I didn't find Jarvee over here, and like I want to ask you why Jarvee is not in this article. Like I want to see it.
Okay, I'll be completely honest with you. Two things. One, it was really like most of my audience really is like entry level people, and I think Jarvee is a bit. It's not as easy to kind of like get into quickly, as some of the other ones make it. I think it's deeper and you can do a lot more with it, but my audience is more kind of like people who just want to do it the most simple way. And second, because there was no whatchamacallit, there was no affiliate program. So I'm like, if it's like I only put ones that I think like are gonna do the best with my audience, but I definitely put it in there.
No, that's okay. Don't need to edit it. Just like it was curiosity for me to ask you why Jarvee is not over there.
It
But
was
now I
those two
know.
reasons. Yeah,
No problem. Yes, they actually did close the affiliate program last year,
yeah.
so only because of that. But cool, guys. Before Eduardo is leaving, and as you see, he has so much knowledge and so much data. Things I wish I know a few years ago. Maybe I was in a different point. Any questions? Something that you want to ask about his class, about Nike, about a Depot, about I would be interested in read about Java in your blog. Okay,
A lot of
maybe
people asking for Jarvee. You need to
maybe
contact Jarvee and tell them that they need to start an affiliate again, because I mean, so the reason why I like, to me, like when you're creating, like people who are, you're creating a lot of value as a blogger, and it feels like they don't value that if they don't offer, like if it's sending money their way, right? And they go like, "Oh, we're not going to give you anything." I'm like, "Well, you don't value what I do." So I think there's something to that.
you know
Maybe
what?
you can talk at the boss. You should talk to the bosses and tell them like, hey, you guys need to bring it back.
Yes, I think that's what I can do, and I will do it today. I will speak with the owner, and I will send him a message on Skype. Sometimes he answers, sometimes he's not. This is
Yeah,
true.
I
It's true. But
understand.
yeah, but I will tell him, and because I think for you it's really worth it. Articles on Medium, it's really like it's great for them and for you as well. And I think many people are looking for Java knowledge because this is the main tool, one of the last tool actually working today and will work, I hope, in 2021. So
Yeah,
I will take care for that.
yeah, and also like if you have like if there's an affiliate, and if you have like a good guide that'll show people screenshots of how to do it really easily, kind of like the basic level to get it working, I would be happy to add that because I think it'll add value to my readers. So
Cool. Okay. Now we start to speak.
yeah, like
No.
I want people to get like to get value from my articles. So like I'm always really open about all of that stuff.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Eduardo. Yes, it's very, very cool. So I will speak with you about it. And guys, any last questions before Eduardo leaving? Something you want to know? Something it was embarrassing to ask him? Is a regional country?
Anything you can ask me, honestly, I'm happy to answer all Instagram questions.
Thank you, Eduardo. Yes, it's so cool to have you. Really, really, it's really like I think you're a different persona on the Instagram marketing. I would say
Oh,
like Instagram influencers, or it's really cool.
thank you. I
So
really appreciate that. I want to be. Because I'm like, I just want to be me, you know, like I don't want to seem like I'm what do you call it? I don't know, like I'm an Instagram expert. I'm like, I just want to share this information with people, and I hope that is communicated. And it was really good to talk to you too. It's good fun to chat about all this stuff.
Yeah, yes, it was great. So I think we took out of from your time, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming and for sharing all of your knowledge and tips and value. I will put a link also for your. Oh wait, we have one last question before you go.
Yeah.
How to make more engaging travel content other than posting travel photos? Sorry.
That's a good one. I would try to think about how you can create travel content that is different from all the hashtags that people are, like all the stuff that's already on these hashtags. I think to be successful in that niche, you have to do something different. And the key would, that's the hard part. I don't know the niche as well. Like, so for example, I would think about, try to find content that isn't being used by travel pages, by travel bloggers, right? Be like, what sort of cool travel content can I find? Maybe even think about, I would say, like, think about the coolest meals that you can eat when you're traveling around the world. To find that would be probably the best to find really good Instagram food blogs and put them in the context of a travel account. And maybe then you'll be different, right? Because you'll be the only travel account that's focusing on this particular niche and has this particular type of photos. And that'll help you be really differentiated. So like what I recommend is just do something that isn't already being done on the niche and just try to be creative.
Like you.
And you.
Thank you, Eduardo. So thank you very much. Guys, I will put you the link for Eduardo class with the code coupon of Dr. Jarvee Fam. I think that's the code.
It's just Jarvee Fam, I think.
Jarvee Fam. Yeah. Jarvee Fam. Sorry, this is the code for the 15% off for you. Also, I put already the link for your Medium content. If you didn't read it, so just read one article, and then what happened to you will be what happened to me. I just go to another one and another one and another one, and you have a long night. So enjoy from that. And thank you very much. It was great to talk with you. Eduardo, stay with me for a second. And thank you, everyone. Last pause, Eduardo.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you just showing up and wanting to talk more about Instagram. I know it's something that we all have so many questions about, especially if we're spending our lives focusing on this, so in our businesses. So I'm just really appreciative of you showing up and asking some really good questions. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.